A pleasant Thursday morning to you. Welcome once again to Untengle on the Bridge 99 FM. A very pleasant morning to you, Richie B and the Up and Go family. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day. And thank you very much for joining us on the Bridge 99 FM. That's the Bridge Nation. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure. And of course, a very special Thursday morning to the Untengle team. Producer, me see it takes me a while ago, so that means they're there, right?
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I am good, blessed. Feeling blessed, yes. See I dance, mama, so.
Nice. Yeah. Nobody go like my dancing in the middle of Blue Mountain, do it, you know? So don't even bother. Don't even try that
dance
one.
A little bit, man. Dance a little bit. Till the calves them heal up fully.
Okay. Oh Lord, have mercy. So you hiked?
Yes, I hiked all the way to the top, from the bottom of Jacob's ladder. Yeah, going up to the top.
So you actually like hiking?
I do, but the pain after, I keep forgetting about that part. But yeah.
Wow. You know, hiking. I'll tell you a drama about that another day. The first time I realized that I had to actually walk all that way.
All the way.
Okay, so we untangle the trending story today. Yes. So tell us the story.
So this story was released on Primetime News, I think it was earlier this week, that this victim, Vicky, her identity is being withheld for protection. Apparently she met someone on TikTok, this gentleman, and they started talking and all of that online romance, and he promised her $15,000 laptop, Samsung phone, and some perfume. But the catch was that she'd have to pay some money to clear the items. I don't know why she never picked up that was fishy or suspicious, but anyway, apparently she paid. She got a WhatsApp, she said, from somebody from some diplomatic security service department at customs, which does not exist, but she didn't know, and they told her that she would have to pay a sum of money to clear the item. So she paid $55,000 first, and then she subsequently paid $180,000 and some other sums of money, and in all she paid 455,000 Jamaican dollars. And then when she wasn't hearing anything and she was trying to contact this gentleman and she wasn't getting through, she called the airport and they told her that this department does not exist. And she tried to get through to NCB to see if she could, reclaim the money to report that she was scammed. But at this point, they wouldn't really be able to do anything about it. But the investigations are ongoing. So now victim Vicky is left with less. Her $455,000 just gone down the drain like that. Yeah.
Can I be honest with you, Lafaine? Yes. You know that when I first got the story and read it and listened to it, I was so mad with victim Vicky.
Everybody.
But the more I read it and the more I internalized it, still mad.
Yeah.
But it is just a lot of sympathy.
Yeah.
Because wow.
It's like as a woman, when you're in a vulnerable state and you want love and you feel like this person have your best interest at heart, promise you things with your children to come over.
There are just so many layers, though.
Yeah.
There are many layers to this, probably if it was a Jamaican man, or it might very well be.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, Mr. Richard from
Moscow, Russia.
From Russia might really be bigger from Manchester, but let us assume that he's really from Moscow.
Right.
We have to be careful how we look at people who are not from here,
Yeah. Definitely.
Because I think that if it was really bigger from Manchester, she'd say it's a scam.
Exactly. It's true. You're right. You're so right.
But because, and she, I was saying to myself, well, why didn't she get videos? But she got videos. Because here is this man who looked Russian, who's sending her videos. This poor man probably don't have a clue who these people are, but
No.
sending, or should I say, sending her videos
Exactly.
of himself, or allegedly
Right.
of himself,
Right.
and she buys into it. So it's really a question of who can trick you.
Right. Right.
Sometimes it comes down to who can trick you.
Yeah.
Because bigger Mike can trick you, but Mr. Richard from Moscow.
Yeah. And since Bigger would have know that, so him say, all right, watch the style.
Exactly. So, no, Bigger know that,
Yeah, them know. Them know. So if he's a black man, it's sad to say, but it's the reality. If you see a picture of a black man, you say, no, sir.
He not no money.
Yeah.
Or one of them, the Nigerian, they were always having
Right.
something there.
Right. But when you see the picture, you say, oh, I'm from Dubai or somewhere else. You go say, all right, probably true.
But you see, you said it, because the point is that Bigger know this.
Of course.
And him is a scammer.
Yeah.
And him going to scam you by any means necessary.
Any means.
And perhaps that is his newest means
Exactly.
to scam you.
Exactly. Them say if you
Because-
find a fool for fool, you fool him.
Exactly. So him can take all them the video they offer any body page. Or
Off the internet.
exactly. You know why we don't? It's very unlikely that it's Richard from Moscow.
Yeah.
Where am I doing the work for Jamaican dollars?
No, but the thing is, he showed her a picture of the money. It was US, so him say must send her $15,000 US. So, and the picture itself looked pixelated, and furthermore, you can't send that amount of money just through Western Union or any kind of money transfer service. They would definitely page the person sending the money and page the person who is receiving the money. So
Yeah, but she is handing over a lot
right,
of
she's
Jamaican
making
dollars.
these deposits.
She's
Right,
making these
right.
deposits in
Oh, I get
Jamaican
what you're saying.
dollars.
I get what you're saying.
So
Him would have
obviously-
no need for it.
Thank you.
In
When
Jamaica.
you do Jamaican dollar
In our-
Moscow.
yeah.
So that alone
Yeah.
tell me say bigger.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Because
you're right.
Richard in Moscow don't have no use for them the whole heap of thousands
True.
of Jamaican dollars.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Mama.
You know, and
No can be over there now. Go change that anyway either. So
which part?
yeah, it's so many red flags that you really should have say, something suspicious. From you pay the $50,000 and then you pay one next sum of money and nothing happen. Something should have
She
clicked in.
called that department too late.
Yeah,
Because she should have been in investigation mode immediately.
right.
But you see, we're not gonna say that him come from Moscow, but she had her defenses were down.
Yeah,
Her
yeah.
defenses were obviously down, and she should have called this diplomatic security services that don't exist long time. And there is something that the gentleman from NCB, I think it was,
Yes.
said, and that is that if somebody going to send you, let us say $100,000,
Right.
and it is going to cost him, or it is going to cost you $40,000. Tell the man who love you and your family them so much. Say what him need for do is take out the 40 out of the 100,000
I always say that, Mama.
and send the 60.
I always say that. But I say we immune it, but common sense we tell you that. Say if you are
Dictates.
telling me say I need to pay you this sum of money, subtract it from the amount I'm supposed to get and give me the balance.
And it's the same thing with the scammer them down where scammer don't come from no one place again.
Yeah.
It's same thing with the scammers who scamming the people them from foreign.
Exactly.
If you win so much money and a them have it, take out some out of it, man.
Exactly. So that's why go with lotto. Like you have to pay a certain amount of tax and then you get the balance of it. The money that you win. So it really sad. And we have to, as women, because I mean men and women get scammed, but I think we're more vulnerable as women because of this whole online romance thing. Because this promise of am I gonna take me over with my kids and all of that. But we have to be wise in our decision. If you have that amount of money to sit down upon, like, come on now.
That is the next question. That is the next topic for discussion. This is somebody who is not short on funds.
Exactly.
So it is obvious that the catch was really, as you said, probably taking those children away abroad.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then you don't wonder if Mr. Moscow go love your picnic them.
Exactly. In this, you
That
know,
not come to your mind.
yeah, and agreed to
Eh?
somebody said because 15,000 US is about 2 point something million Jamaican dollars. So,
So that's enough for you?
no, I'm saying Kevin say agreed because at the money she want, the 15,000 US dollars, which is equivalent to approximately like 2 point something million Jamaican dollars.
It is difficult not to think so.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to judge this person
Yeah.
because we don't know who she is.
Right.
But you know, just on a different level. We're not talking about her.
Right.
But you have necessarily. However, we have to look at the fact that it could be greed.
It could be. Yeah.
Because it's as though who is going to be the bigger scammer?
Yeah.
Because it could be that you are scam Mr. Moscow to you know.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
But Mr. Moscow scam you.
Scam you first. Yeah.
So it's who scam who first. Because probably if he sent all, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me use a different example. Probably if another man, let us say
Yeah.
from Czechoslovakia,
Yeah.
one of those, right? If another man from Czechoslovakia, let us say, asked her to do all of this, she probably no really want to go no Czechoslovakia, you know. So here she know to fear bigger. Bigger. Well, what man?
Yes,
You're bigger
true.
now. Yeah, man, come and scam me because
Yeah.
that in it too. So it's really who is going to be scammed.
Yeah, it's true. Who can get scammed first?
Who going to get scammed first?
Yeah.
But you know, the spoils are something that let's call it the spoils. She called it the package.
Yeah.
But I call it the spoils. It's something we should could have buy yourself.
Simple one too. Simple one too. You can't buy 2 phone, 2 laptop with that money. That million a perfume set.
That's why that's why we kind of wonder what was her motive.
Yeah.
You know, because she keeps saying, but it was for her birthday.
Yeah.
And all right, we were talking about video calls. Apparently, she did get a video call.
I don't even think that video. Maybe it's a call, but not video because I don't even know. Me not in the scamming nexus, so me not know how it work, you know. But even if you video call, seeing the person, I'm big on that. I have to meet you. I have to meet you legit to say you existed, that you're a real person before nothing can go on like that. So I mean, I take up my money just send to people like that. No way.
You see, you make an interesting point because although it's the norm to date online,
Right.
and you can get to know somebody online, until you have met this person, you don't know this person. You know?
Exactly.
You don't have a clue who this person is. Because I could have friend too, because I remember say usually a clique of them,
True.
So
True.
them probably send out
Set
the
up
best looking
something,
one.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
one where them figure say, you got bow to like
Yeah.
Mr. Moscow. And him could have hit too. But
Facts.
hardly unlikely, but it's hardly likely. But anyway. So, there is that. So when I was listening to the gentleman from NCB talk,
Yeah.
and I was watching that video, you see on the video, a smiley face,
Yeah.
and you see avatars, and it's just interesting, Lafaine, where we have reached
Where we
as
have
human
reached,
beings, where a smiley face or an avatar is now representing human emotions.
Yes. True.
Because for those who have limited empathy and for those who really don't care, them love this.
Yeah.
Because you're going to pick up perhaps that them really don't care if them talking. But if them have a pile of emoji and some very, very, feeling emojis, them can send it off to you and you feel that a smiley face is a smile.
Exactly.
A smiley face is not a smile.
And they laugh after you or have the devil one behind it.
No, and that, that's the sad part.
Yeah,
That's
is.
the sad part, because let us say you are not a scammer also, and you really buy into this. we have to start to examine the kind of person. And according to the NCB reports, which is very frightening, the gentleman says that at least 10 similar reports are made weekly.
Yeah.
And they're from women of all different ages. So what that telling us? What is that telling us about ourselves as women? What it is telling us that we are very vulnerable. Naive.
Yeah.
And sometimes all of this comes because of loneliness.
Scammers getting scammed.
Eh?
Kevin says scammers getting scammed because maybe them a try say them
true.
a go get the money from the man because him come from foreign, a rich man, and this is the result, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is part of it. Well, let us say that's not the
Yeah.
case. Or look at the cases that's not the
Right.
case. Even the cases of the Jamaicans scamming the particularly
Yeah,
white
the
women,
foreigners,
elderly
yeah.
white women. A lot of that is loneliness, you know.
Yes, definitely. You feel that this person loves you or cares for you, is giving you attention.
Yeah, that is it. That is it. The person is actually giving you attention. And it's who in the studio I say some
Kevin.
crazy things. Kevin, noted me can't see it. When Kevin did it, I say, Kevin, no, I'm no sympathy for victim.
No,
you
I'm
know?
not known. Just believe so them a scammer and them get scammed because
It's
I
hard
agree.
not to think
Yeah.
so, to be honest with you. It's hard not to think so.
Yeah.
But
there is a flip
there is a
side.
possibility that that's not the case.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are many such cases.
Yeah, definitely.
Without a doubt.
Definitely.
But those cases that is not the case. It to me, it tells us about the world that we're living in. Because look here, you have to remember, you know, Lafaine, that a lot of women date online and get married, you know.
Yes, that's true. I know.
And you have to also
Literally
remember that a lot
people
of
like
men
that.
who look like Richard.
Yeah.
But them have to come down here.
Yeah.
Them come down here. And sometimes the relationship start out with women in the sex industry.
Yes.
You see my side of town, and if I tell you about this, you
like
can
nigger.
tell me about this scam in your side. And me will tell you about the
The
one
rent
them-
a dread.
Oh, la, 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 la. I just yesterday one of my bridging them tell me say this one was from your side, but I
Yeah.
see him not course.
Yeah.
And a ship come in, and some I'm bridging them at 20 something, and some lady come up. Some lady will come off a ship. The man will tell me a big man, you
Yeah.
know, and he must say, Elise, you see the woman that will come off a ship? Oh my goodness. And him start to describe them, right? Elderly and
Stella.
I mean like years,
Yeah.
decades older than these virgin. And you know, them propositioning
Yeah.
them.
Stella.
And you know, so and you know, sometimes these women have never gotten such attention for a long time.
That is it. And the black man, them have the words, you know, for them in the mama.
And more than words.
'Cause if them if I'm walking on the road and sometimes I say, my goodness, when I come up with this something here, much less people who are not accustomed to it. So when they hear it, they're like, oh my goodness, you like me? You think that about me?
Yeah, man.
So it's like a
Yeah,
Stella kind of thing, you know?
That's the you know, I'm not like Kevin. I find it very. I understand Kevin, you know, but I
Yeah.
find it very sad.
Yeah, it is
But you see, when
sad.
you come my side, you see a lot of it, and sometimes it's a trade-off, you know.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
a trade-off
Yes.
because there are some of the men that I see down here, and you know, young and the lady, you know, them granny that.
Yeah.
But you know, no, but they're happy. They're happy, you know. And who am I to tell them so they're not happy?
That's it. To
You
each
remember
their
so-
own.
You remember say them are underage, don't like, so they're under 18.
Yeah, they're
you know.
adults.
Are adults, and when you see them a swing,
Yep. You're like, okay, do you, sis?
look here. Me no business with them, they know, because if the people them tell me so they're happy.
That's right.
You understand
That's
me?
right.
All right. So I'm just saying that sometimes it's a trade-off.
It is.
But when it's not a trade-off, when it's really someone who, you know, looking to rob you, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, you know, most times that's what it is. You know, it's just that some women approve of the robbery.
Yeah.
I don't know. Them know say it's a trade-off,
Yeah.
and them willing to deal with
Yeah.
the trade-off.
Yeah.
But let us look at online dating,
Yeah.
and you realize that it is now a norm
It is. It is
to
so
to not
prevalent.
necessarily know somebody before
Yeah.
you say is your boyfriend.
Right. because you get so caught up, you're having good conversation, and it starts there because you're getting to know each other. You're talking way more now than if you were in person, so you're
Yes.
sharing a lot and all of that. So it's that protective barrier too, because you're not seeing the person, so you kind of let your guard down.
Yes.
So
And the person not seeing you.
right.
So when that happens is a double scam that, because you are saying that the man is saying I am almost 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
And you never see
You
it.
never seen it. You have to
And
believe
you are
it.
saying you have beauty contest
Miss World.
measurements. And you never see you wouldn't yet neither. So I'm in a business with them they neither.
Yeah.
Because it's a trade-off. But let us look at loneliness
Yeah.
then, as an
Definitely.
epidemic.
Definitely.
Because that's an epidemic.
Yeah. And
know?
COVID definitely heightened that too. Everybody was inside and online, so yeah. But
There you go.
the thing is TikTok is just out there without fear, mama. Me, I'm not even on TikTok. My mother, she go on it, and me I say, okay, you go and do your thing over this, so. But I'm not even on it. But TikTok is the last place that I would say me I go date somebody online. No way.
You know what is my big issue? It might sound, I don't know, it might sound trivial to others, but let me tell you what I think about. Okay, you look so nice and all these wonderful things, and me feel like, say, what I see is what I get. Me don't know nothing about your personal hygiene, although,
That's it.
I mean,
That's not
that
trivial, mama. That is not trivial.
That is big for me. Big,
That
big.
is
Come
not
in there, look
trivial.
pipe and mix something.
That is
Why?
that is a non-negotiable for me.
Don't
I'm
it.
sorry.
Don't. That's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
You don't know about these people's personal habits.
Yep.
And because you can't you can't zoom him through the thing. No. No, me can't.
Why?
These are no. If you had
serious,
met anyone
man. Yeah.
you met in real,
Yeah.
you would get a whiff immediately.
Definitely.
And you would know
Definitely.
exactly what's happening.
You
You understand?
have the front teeth, them, all of them something.
What this is somebody you don't know
Yeah.
anything about, but all right, it says that surveys reveal that approximately 60%, this is an American
Yeah.
survey, of Americans report feeling lonely on a regular basis.
Yeah.
The number of people who say they have no close friends has quadrupled since 1990. And young men in particular are 12% more likely than women to rely on parents for support. That is that. So if this is true, and I believe that this is true, because with the advent of social media,
Exactly.
a lot of friends are online.
Yeah. You're isolated. Yeah.
Yes. And how much of a friend can you really have without knowing certain details
Yeah.
about them online? So this is very tragic, and it tells
is.
us that we're moving away from having
Interpersonal relationships.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as you said, Lafaine, the COVID epidemic didn't help
Nope.
it.
Nope. Even my friend them tell me about must try. Me say, ooh, and I'm
Tell
here
your
talk
friend-
to.
Tell you say what?
Me
must
must try the
go
online
online.
dating thing, yeah. Must give it a chance. Me say, alright, you go on over there so with that.
I'm always wondering if it is just the generation that I'm from.
I
Why
think
I
it
wouldn't
is.
go
Yeah, I
online.
think it is.
But then victim Vicky is a young person,
Yeah.
and she should be savvy enough to understand what happens online. And therefore, then you realize now that a lot of what happens, you're being led astray because of your emotions.
Yes, that is it. That is it.
You know?
That
And
is
that
it.
is sad, but let me tell you something. I'll tell you something. No matter how for my emotions stand, you see? Oh, no, not scamming me for my money. No, you
me
can't
go
scam me and
hike,
tell me,
mama.
no,
If me
no,
feel lonely, me go hike. Me go take a walk. Me go do something.
No, you
But-
have no. You're right.
Yeah.
You just have to. First of all, you have to face what is happening.
That is it.
Because if you don't face it, you can't fix
Nope.
it.
Nope. That is it.
So if you really face that you are lonely, you have to face that you're also vulnerable.
Right.
And as a result of that, you really need physical evidence of who someone is.
Yes.
And
Yes.
even when you get that, you need time to really ascertain if this person is who they say they
Exactly,
are.
and has your best interest at heart.
Yes. So, for my sisters who are genuinely lonely, for the scammer them, you know, alright, you can take care of phone yourself. But for the
Yeah.
sisters who are genuinely lonely, for brothers and sisters too, because here want no, you can imagine how woman scam man see him place on the internet there.
Of course, it happened. It happened both ways. It's just that it comes more to the fore because of women, but it happens to men too.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Of course it does. Anyways, 7 minutes.
Yeah.
So you realize that.
So be
But
careful, be alert, people.
yes,
Use
yes,
sense.
yes. It's something. It's a topic worth talking about because 400, almost $500,000 to be fleeced out of is very sad.
It is.
And
It
I don't
is.
care how much money she has, the fact that she, was a victim to a scam like that tells us that she in trouble.
Yep.
I mean, she couldn't have that much money, and right now she's that, well, $500,000 poor.
Poor. Yep.
So,
And she has kids, so definitely.
she have children. And another thing too.
Yeah.
Another thing too. Let us say the man did really ever send for your picnic them. We know
Wait.
about him and your picnic them. Oh my God.
Use the money on them.
Mercy. Oi, send the children got extra lesson with some of that them money
Yeah.
there. Find some way to enhance them life.
Yeah, their
But you
development.
go send them now if it was really to Ghana Moscow to Moscow man.
Especially what go on now, mama.
Especially
That too
what
should
go
have
on.
been like red flag, but
Oh my goodness, because you have to remember that, this is just a fact.
Yeah.
Dark skinned children are depend price.
yes.
I mean, I don't know how else to put
yeah,
that.
facts.
Black picnic depend price
Facts.
for people who are pedophiles.
Yes.
Or
And traffickers. yeah.
Yes, traffickers. That's just a fact. And you can't volunteer your child into human trafficking because sometimes that's what you're going to
Yeah.
be doing. Oi,
Oh, God, help us. What?
you
Yeah.
can text me and tell me some wake every day. You can just imagine. You can just imagine somewhere you can say find the ear.
No.
Anyway,
Yes, mama. All right.
we take a break.
Yeah.
So she's Shelly Heaven, founder and CEO of FarmLinkr Limited. So welcome to the bridge and welcome to Untengle on the bridge.
Thank you so much for having me. And it's FarmLinkr with an R at the end.
It's FarmLinkr up.
FarmLinkr with an R.
FarmLinkr. Okay, I got you. FarmLinkr. Okay, so right away, let us talk about FarmLinkr. What motivated you to actually form this company?
Well, I've had an interest in national economic development for Jamaica for some time, and I believe that agriculture was a key way to achieve that. And so when I decided that it was time to start my own business, I knew that it was going to be something in agriculture. And so I designed a business model that I thought would help to deliver some of those goals around national economic development and prosperity for farmers.
Okay, and I'm listening to you and I'm thinking about what you're going to be saying versus what we face here in reality. So it's a marketing, sales, distribution platform.
Yes, so the company, the online platform, for example, allows farmers anywhere in Jamaica to set up an online store, and literally they could just, after this interview, go on the site, create their store and start selling their goods online, not just to persons in Jamaica, but anywhere in the world. We currently have sellers on there that ship the items sold there overseas, like Canada, USA, and UK. So that is the online part of the business. But we also work directly with buyers such as hotels in the hospitality sector, restaurants, supermarkets, and processors, where we try to set up consistent supply arrangements working with our farmers.
Okay. I have a lot of farmers who I talk to. First of all, how can they be a part of this FarmLinkr? And what does it take? Because a lot of farmers I know don't seem to know about this.
That is true. Well, they can simply reach out to us, and we do have a lot of farmers that do reach out to us via our website, which is www.farmlinkr.com, FarmLinkr.com, and they can contact us there. If they're on social media, they can also contact us on via our Instagram or our Facebook pages. So we're very easy to get through to. We have live chat there, and our phone numbers are listed. So they can get in touch with us in that way.
Okay, so let us say that I'm a farmer. I just got that information, so I have contacted you. What happens from there? I tell you the produce that I have. What happens from there?
Well, yes. So farmers will contact us. They can either have produce available to sell right away, and would indicate whether these are things that we're able to assist with, or they can also set up a store on the side to sell their things right away. Or they would, a lot of times what they're saying to us is that they have a lot of land, they want to do consistent production, and so they want to work with someone that's going to be buying the produce from them when it's finished, which is a good way to approach it. And we can have discussions with them from there on to understand where their farm is, what kind of infrastructure they have, how many acres, having those conversations, and then taking it to the next step in terms of what we'd like to work with them to produce, or what we're able to supply to the market based on what they already have.
Okay, so I get that. So pricing, I'm sure sometimes is a sticking point. Because let us say I'm a farmer and I'm selling my tomatoes for just for argument's sake for $50 a pound, right? And the producer that you have linked me with is saying that I can't buy that for that. I want it for little and nothing. And the farmer says, yes, go ahead. From little
Right.
and nothing.
Actually, how it works, so FarmLinkr is actually the one that sells the produce to the buyer. So we
Oh,
actually buy it from the farmer, and we sell it to the buyer. So we're the one that does the negotiation. So we are
okay.
aware of what the market rates are in terms of produce. The ministry does report pricing every single week, and we also have persons in the market also who are familiar with the pricing. And we do tend to try to put consistent arrangements in place, though. So when we do contractual farming arrangements and try to do a consistent supply.
Right.
So it is, we're not just trying to sell, whatever the market rate is, because then you're constantly chasing the sale.
Yes. So is there a limit on how much you can actually produce? And is there a limit on what it is that you produce?
Um, I suppose, yes, there are limits in the sense
Well,
that
yeah.
we are producing according to the markets that we have and that we're working with, or the markets where we're aware that there are gaps that we're pursuing. So that is what guide the production program. And this is essentially one of the things that we're trying to do in terms of food security, is to get greater communication happening between the demand side of the market and the supply side of the market. Because if the supply side, the farmer side, they know what the market wants, then we can put plans in place to produce what is required. So then we smooth out a lot of the volatility that we have, the peaks and troughs where we have like gluts and scarcities. So
Right.
we're trying to smooth out a lot of those things by greater communication.
Okay. All right, let's talk about gluts and scarcity. For a farmer listening here now, what would you consider to be a glut on the market, and what would you consider to be a scarce item?
So when gluts happen, when what we usually observe when there's a glut is that there's an oversupply of a particular item, so much that even if you're giving it away for free, you can't find anybody that actually wants it. The price that it's selling for is usually below the cost of production. It's possible that it could be below the cost of production. And this happens when maybe a lot of farmers have produced a lot of a particular item and it's ready all at once. In the scarcity scenario, it happens a lot for us each year, especially when we have droughts, and usually during the summer months too. And that's when you see some extremely high prices, such as $1,000 per pound for lettuce and things like that.
Okay, because most of us have had to be facing in the supermarket these days, a nice big cabbage for $1,100. We've never seen that before. And as far
Right.
as I know, there is no scarcity of cabbage, is there?
Well, when you're seeing prices like that, that's what it indicates.
That there's a scarcity?
Yes, so you're good for you. You're getting it available in your supermarket, and if you're will able to buy one cabbage for $1,000, then I guess you can purchase it. But there would be a lot of Jamaicans that probably wouldn't buy that cabbage at that
Well, to be
price.
honest with you, most of us didn't buy that cabbage because we can't afford it. So that puts the farmer. I'm just curious to know if some of this glut can be as a result of imports from other places, and the fact that the farmers just can't sell their produce because of the imports.
I don't think so. I think people may think that a lot of times, but a lot of the items that are grown here locally are not usually imported. The imports are usually mostly for things that we don't grow here. I'm not aware that we're importing green cabbage. We do definitely import purple cabbage.
No, the cabbage that I'm seeing is locally produced. It's just
Right.
that it's at a very high price, and all right. All right. So that's that. So you're the one negotiating. So you're going to have to tell me if I'm right or wrong. You're going to have to actually transport the goods to the people who want the people who want to buy it, right? Does your
Yes,
company do that?
we do that, yes.
All right, and how do you ensure that the produce is actually fresh and nice by the time you get it to the people who you're selling it to?
Well, it all has to do with the packaging, the transportation. So, what is it packed in? How is it transported? Is it chilled vehicle, for example? And also conversations with the farmers to agree what the requirements are in terms of specifications.
Okay. There seems to be a divide between what we're saying here now again and what's happening, because you talk about creating prosperity for farmers at a time when farmers are bawling that nothing not happening for them. So help me to bridge that gap. How I'd give us an example of farmers whose prosperity has increased as a result of an organization like farm like this farm linker.
Well, I think a lot of our farmers probably go through an experience every year where they're probably not sure what to produce. Some items get sold at a good price, some don't. And I think to me, that is linked to that lack of that what I call the market information asymmetric gap. So, what we are doing at FarmLinkr is identifying the markets, the consistent market. So, we really only focus in the consistent market business where the ad hoc buying and selling happens is on the platform, which is online. But in terms of the direct selling business that we do, we're working with buyers that want a particular item every single week, for example, every week, every 2 weeks. So we would then be working with farmers to put that production in place to then be able to supply. So if a farmer is now going to be selling produce every single week rather than once every 3 months, then their prosperity will most definitely increase just from that arrangement.
Okay. And do you tap into farmers markets, or are you before it gets there?
It's before it gets
It's
there.
before, yeah, right. You are like your own farmers market.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just we don't have a specific location.
Right. And a lot of it happens online.
Yeah. Well, online for the online part of the business, but when we sell to hotels and supermarkets, those are direct selling transactions. It's not online.
Okay. And before we go, just again, for the farmers who are listening, could you just advise them of some of the products that there's a glut on the market for? So perhaps, not to produce too much of that, and the products that there is a scarcity, so that they can actually produce that and get the sales that they're looking for.
Well, before I go to, I wanted to also tell you about we are having the plant a food tree campaign
Oh, yes.
for Labor Day.
Yes, yes.
And we're inviting all Jamaicans to visit the FarmLinkr website and to buy a food tree and plant it. And we're aiming for 5,000 fruit trees in time for Labor Day. And for companies, we're inviting them to sponsor at least 50 fruit trees for planting. And we have what's called a lemon twist for the hotels, because there's a scarcity that's going on, I think, over several years for limes and lemons.
Oh my goodness!
Yes. The hotels and the restaurants to work with us to plant lemon and lime trees, because we have those trees available, so we can solve this problem going forward.
I hear you, and that makes a lot of sense. So it's not just the farmers who need to plant the scarce stuff, but householders too. People who live, just people like me and you. We need to be planting these. Absolutely. And does that always say fruit? So that will include vegetables. But can I just say that we need to have our own vegetable garden around the back too? The front.
Yes, I think some persons are doing that. A lot more backyard gardening is happening.
Right, but you're proposing a fruit tree, and you're specifying
specifying, and we call it food tree campaign. So the fruit obviously is food. So we're planting trees that's going to help to supply us with food, and we want to increase the orchard stock for the country, because that has been deteriorated a lot over a number of years. So we're looking at the vision a few years from now where we'll have a much greater supply of fruits, that we'll have greater access to fruits for our people, and we can also begin exporting some of these fruits.
Right. So is there a seed campaign also, or is it a plant that you're
It's a plant, it's a tree, it's a literal tree. And just to excite the hospitality sector a little bit more, our lemon trees will begin bearing within 12 to 18 months, and the lime trees will bear within 18 to 24 months. All of our other fruit trees also will bear within 2.5 years to 3 years. So a bit less than the 5-year time frame you usually hear for orchard fruits, which I think is really great. So a lot of these things take time, but we have to start somewhere.
And can we get suckers from these trees after we've planted them, or do we have to come back and buy again?
Well, you'll get a lot of fruits that all have seeds.
So we can plant. We can plant from that.
Correct, right.
Okay, all right. Well, great to know. I hope our farmers are listening. And is there anything else that you really need us to know before we go that we haven't spoken about?
Not that we haven't spoken about, just that you can visit the FarmLinkr website to shop for produce on a weekly basis for shipping anywhere across Jamaica. And the fruit trees campaign, yes, there's one more thing. It's free delivery island-wide for all the fruit tree purchases to your nearest Knutsford Express location.
Okay, and island-wide means that you have setups island-wide? You have your links?
No, meaning that wherever you are in Jamaica, you order the fruit tree on the website, we will ship it to you to the nearest Knutsford Express location for pickup.
Oh, wonderful. Good. All right. Thank you very much for talking to us. And I'm hoping people will really capitalize on this. Although it has been, I've been asking this kind of question. I really do understand, how important it is for us to plant. And just like you said, how important it is to plant food trees that we can actually feed us, and how important it is to plant citrus, because we cannot buy it in the supermarket anymore. We just can't. So Shelly, thanks again. Thanks for stopping by, and lovely talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Most welcome. So it looked like we're ready. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Beau-regard. Good afternoon, New York.
Good afternoon, Jamaica. Good afternoon, Mama Kelly. How is everything going?
Wonderful. How is everything going? On a hot over there, but when we're not hot over there, we want to say good. When we're hot over here, we say lad.
No, that hot today. Nice. Because
okay.
Last week we had some great weather, And then to start off this week, it got back chilly again, and then it's warming up again today. So, you know, the weather kind of up and down. And as we say here in America, or in the tri-state area, you know, we don't really look for summer until after Memorial Day pass, which is the end of May. So.
Well, you can still do them something there without the weather changes.
I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, man.
Okay. All right,
so how was your weekend, Mama Kelly? Before we go any further, real quick, I just want to say yesterday was Kabaka Pyramid's birthday. And
yes.
Yes, so happy birthday to him. Also, Gentleman from Germany, the artist, celebrated their birthday as well. And also, Big Youth celebrated a birthday yesterday. So happy birthday to all three.
And also my son Daniel, who had a birthday in Zion on the 18th. That's right. So he's all over Facebook. And everybody have them comments. Lord, I'm sweetie.
And you also celebrated a birthday on Friday, Mama Kelly, was it? Friday,
on Saturday.
Saturday.
Yes.
My mistake.
And Stephen Marley has a birthday today.
Yes.
And Cherry Natural has a birthday today, lest we forget the point. So my birthday on Saturday was the bomb. But can I tell you something? It's a small world in a Beau-regard. Small world. Oh, and also Louis Grant and Mrs. Grant had Louis send me some videos, and I said I need time for just palav. Cause I'm saying one that say your boy's tribute and let me know how you in my talk, but me no listen it good yet. No, me no listen good yet because my wife can kick back and crack up. So there is that. So on Saturday now.
Yes, your birthday, because we all want to hear what you did for your birthday.
Oh, we all do?
We all do. We're all waiting. Everybody over this side are waiting. We all want to hear how Mama Kelly celebrated her birthday.
Okay, so you remember once we had a story about somebody who was giving a surprise birthday party and them sued somebody. You remember? Are you only carry that story there? You remember?
Yes, Mama, yes.
Okay, all right. I'm not going to say I'm like that, but I'm not far. So, you know, me have my little family there, my little linky them, where know me like them hand back, right? Know me good. So, one of my, call him my godson, we call him my son, because we have whole heap of son all both. So, him is one. His lady is having a baby, so she's due in June, I think. Me hear them argue about it. Him look like him know when it due more than she. So me see hear the two of them argue. So they had a baby shower on Saturday, and they also plan to make that baby shower be a celebration, a birthday celebration. So I was told in advance, so it wasn't a surprise because them know me, right?
Yes.
So this is 114 family. You just hear me big them up a while ago, and this is Mountain View Avenue, Eastern Kingston. So you know, so me is a East somebody. So I raised my children them in a vineyard town in a East Kingston, and I was brought up in Harborview. So it was a nice vibes, and it was just absolutely beautiful, and it was just different, and we had a lot of fun. My real people them who you know, so we did it every day, and we in touch with one another. You know them kind of people there, they did it, and it was nice to see them there. To be honest with you, them feels and me never know something to come home. But me have a son where he can't keep secrets. So him done preps me and tell me long times that I'm gonna do this. So when me see him I go, oh, how are you?
Yeah,
So I tell you the truth, I had and the food was great, the party was good, the vibes was loving, the baby mother them turned out for the baby shower, and they had a contest at that party. That it was just so different. So because it was a baby shower,
yes,
they had a contest with some baby daddies, and the contest was them had some teddy bears, some stuffed toys, and some diapers and some wipes. So them asked the man, the big man them, you know, a serious man them too, you know. So them give them the man them called 3 man, called a competition, and give them a stuffed tie, give them some diapers, and give them some wipes. And the whole point was that the baby father them learn how to change Pampers and be part of the whole thing, and that was just so exciting. So it was so exciting to watch how the man did. Some man did them just have babies, so them know if it wipes and them know if it do that. So it was fun. I would never expect that to be fun, but it's because it's the kind of man them who you would never expect to participate in a game like that.
In that space more time. You know,
oh my God, we laughed. We laughed.
Man.
So we had a lovely time. And can I tell you this? So my son now Fendi belongs to the 114 family, and the Hill family have a whole heap of son, right? So the whole of them are 114. So Pops is like the head of the family. So every time them keep something there, them call Pops on the phone. So them call Pops on the phone and Pops say, nice, happy birthday, moms, and them tell me the nice thing, them and then them say to me, say, you know where I'm going with this, right? Yeah. You have a feeling where I'm going with this, right, Beau-regard?
Right away.
So Pops said,
wow.
Mama, you know, say me know you're a virgin. They say, which one, Pops? Him say, Beau-regard, him no pronounce is so great, because I know you're still a bit. So me say, Beau-regard. Me say, Pops, you know Beau-regard? Him say, whether you're mama. Me know them. Me know them man the long time. Next time you see him, ask him if him don't know Pops. So me say, Thursday afternoon, bright and early. As soon as we link up, Pops, don't say another word. Me going to make sure, say me ask Beau-regard if him know. Me never know say you know they're serious, man.
Of course. No, man. Pops, I'm a brother of Mama Kelly, man. Pops, family. You know, them youth, they're real youth. Close like that, you know.
Right,
and
right.
He actually called me and say, yo, you know, so I talk to Mama Kelly. And I tell her, and me so shocked to Mama Kelly. Me I
you
say,
were shocked?
Yeah, me I say, you know Mama Kelly? And he say, yeah, man, long time I know Mama Kelly. And, you know, he might explain everything to me. And I say, wow, small world, for real.
Very small world.
Yeah,
so
man.
the last time I was there, it was actually his mom's celebration in December. A memorial celebration. But I'm a family them, man. When you see me left with me there and go amongst them and the whole of my roots friend them come and we celebrate and we stew over because, hey, let me tell you something, you see, man. That kind of tells you, you know, say me like my people, them grounded and real.
Yes.
Because me stew over for the night because them have a nice little space where, you know, for people like me, we can stew over and, you know, then the following day, you know, Fendi, who is Pop's little brother, him can cook them a proper chef, you know. So we get oats porridge and we get fritters. It's fritter where you are.
No, man, fritters.
Where I am is fritters.
Fritters.
So and we just had a nice family community kind of vibes where me like, you know.
Nice.
So
nice.
that's
good. Small world, Mama Kelly. Great vibes. Great to hear. As I said, you know, good people. You know, we like to surround ourselves with great people. And people who have good vibes, people who have their head on them shoulder, and that's what it's all about, you know. Family.
Right. And he said the same thing about you, you know. He said exactly that about you. So, you know, as small world.
True indeed.
Small world. So when you came back?
When did... I was.
You never there, Jamaica?
No,
you weren't there?
I was here in New York, Mama.
Is a video something? Is a video you sent? I don't know because I don't look yet. So when I look, I'm talking about Mr. Grant's wedding anniversary, right? So when I look, then I'll know.
Right, those were some of the videos from the anniversary and pictures and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wasn't. DJ Roy was there. Mr. Bobby Clark was there. Dub Master Chris was there. You know, a whole bunch of other people. I saw Mr. Richie Stevens there. Actually, you know, he was singing a song and performing for the lovely couple.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, great vibes. So big up to Richie Stevens. He's coming to the Mother's Day tribute this year, Mama Kelly, on Saturday, May 13th. That I'm doing along with my brother, Jamel the car guy, in Queens. And it's the annual Mother's Day tribute. He's going to be performing live. So we are looking forward to that one here.
Okay. Did I tell you that my brother also has a birthday on the 15th? So I want to say happy belated birthday greetings to my brother Garth, who celebrated his birthday the same day that I celebrated mine, but we're not twins.
Okay, very good. Happy birthday to him, Garth.
Yes, happy
Also
belated.
want to send a shout out to a sister of ours here in the New York area. She's a member of the 12 Tribes of Israel. She goes by the name of Sister Angie. And she's a very avid listener of Irie Jam Radio. She supports 100%. We also want to send a big shout out to her on her birthday.
Blessed Angie, blessed love. Have a wonderful day.
Also, Mama Kelly, we got news that former Chief Justice of Jamaica, the Honorable Lensley Wolf, OJ, had passed away on Tuesday evening. Mr. Wolf had served as Chief Justice of Jamaica from 1996 to 2007, and he was called to the bar at Lincoln's Inn in 1967. He was a St. Jago High graduate, a former chairman of the School of Board, and he was a devoted Anglican. So we say rest in peace to Mr. C.J. Wolf.
Okay, condolences, we got that one too. And I don't know if you'd probably know, he's not a public figure, but for those of us here in Jamaica, a lot of us know Arthur Newland. He's actually the brother of Margaret Newland. and we call him Slugger, and he passed away on the was it yesterday or day before yesterday also. So we say, wow, good Slugger, you know.
Yes.
Very good friend of ours, very good friend of the family and his family, and so it kind of was a surprise. But you know how the thing goes these days, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mama Kelly, what are your thoughts on Carnival? How was it? Any feedbacks?
Hey, look, you know. So Sunday afternoon now, me figure say, all right, I'm going to take a leisurely drive back home now. Me come from the 114 family them and we tell we one another, the whole picnic there, you know, man, me kiss you so, kiss you so, kiss you so, kiss you so, kiss you so. So me let it for left now, my face wet. Yeah, picnic, I do this, you know, pure picnic. So anyway, you know, so me say, all right, now me a drive in now. We reach Half-a-Tree, no, me not reach Half-a-Tree, we reach New Kingston, cause, you know, coming from east and coming, you know, New Kingston, barricade.
This was at around what time?
It's about midday, 1 o'clock, so. I mean, barricades like all over New Kingston. So I'm saying to the people who telling me I can't come through here, I said, where can I go? No, boy, we don't really know it. Why don't you try up there? So we try a long line of people who are not revelers, right? Just want to reach Half-a-Tree.
Right.
Could we reach Half-a-Tree? It took me at least an hour to find where I could go between New Kingston and Half-a-Tree. And it's just amazing, you know, because there was nobody who really cared that we couldn't find our way. But then, you know, it's an uptown event. So all who would have cared, not care, because there are revelers on the street and them blocking the road. And I'm sure a reggae party could have never tried that. But the whole place lock off, the whole place block. And I'm like, okay, all right. Eventually, security guard said them move the blockade from there. So by now I don't have a clue where I am, because normally where I would drive blocked. So I'm just following cars, and I followed cars until I reached just about the intersection to go to from Red Hills Road to the Boulevard. That's where and still don't reach Half-a-Tree, but thankfully I really wanted to be on the Boulevard that I could get to go home. So I had another stop in Half-a-Tree, that one we never make because we couldn't find my way back. It was just,
chaos.
In terms of, it wasn't chaos, you know. It was organized chaos. It was chaos for us who were driving. But for those who were on the road reveling, it was fine for them. So they had a wonderful time, it seems. But for those of us who actually just wanted to go home, it was difficult. So there was that. What I found interesting though on the road when I got a chance to think about it is the revelers. The times have really changed now, because I saw one pregnant sister, right? Big pregnant, to about 7 months pregnant, with a big belly in her carnival thing, reveling away, belly big. And at first when I saw this person, I said, you know, I didn't know she was pregnant. So I said, then this woman used to say, your belly too big for that, there's something there. But when I drove past her, I realized that she was indeed pregnant, and apparently it was a thing at Carnival, because there were quite a few. I only saw one, but apparently there were quite a few pregnant women dressed up as revelers. What do you think about that? How do you think about that?
About the pregnant women?
Dressed up as revelers and, you know, bearing their pregnant tummies and that kind of thing.
I don't want to say that they're not supposed to be there, Mama Kelly, but for them, you know, it should be a safety issue first, in terms of, you know, them being aware of their surroundings, and that anything at any time could go, you know, left, and they have to make a quick rush or a quick run, you know. Yes. So safety is always first, and if they have to be the person to think about that, you know. So
I agree with that. And the one that I saw was in a group that seemed to be friends and family. So she seemed to have been protected, but it's a conversation that we've been having about that. And it's just that times have changed, and I don't know. I know that people would like me to say something, because
I don't think that officials would say that if you're pregnant then you're not allowed I don't think there are people in Jamaica saying that, that.
Well, there are different opinions.
They would probably look at it as a personal decision also.
Yes, that's how I see it too. Some people see it as just like what you said, as a health risk. And they have concerns about, because you remember you're dancing, but but then, Beau-regard, you see when I was having children way back in the day, a house frat them put away in, so the frat them big so
certain places in Agro.
I know some in Agro, I can't go, but here why I say this now. When I was having children, I refused to be a part of that big old frack something there. So I can't have no whole heap of something for say, because when I was pregnant, I had wore dresses that would hang down, but them big something the way we out just before the belly even reach there, so I just sit down like one big tent. Me never in that no day. So no sir. So I guess I was part of the revolution to make it reach this far. So me can't say nothing.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is for Carnival. This outfit that this young lady has on is for Carnival. We don't know, what she does in the other days, or after Carnival or before Carnival. But, as you said, back then they might have wanted you to look a certain way. And these young ladies in 2023, they're just dressing what's comfortable. And that's what me born come say. I'm not too sure or too keen on the part that you were mentioning.
Yeah.
But, my born come say women just dressing comfortable. With them themselves. Yeah, man.
And I've seen a lot of pictures with women bearing their babies' stomachs, and I don't know, to me it seems very revolutionary. And I don't have look here, your belly, if you feel comfortable enough to bear your belly that way, and the way how they've been bearing their bellies on camera can be very attractive and liberating.
I mean, one of the biggest international stars right now, Rihanna. That's what she did with her entire pregnancy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And honestly, Beau-regard, to me, it is just more revolutionary than moral or immoral. It's just women just wanting to be free. Yes.
Freedom.
That's how I see it.
I agree. Mama Kelly, it is 1:26 in the afternoon. I believe we have to take a commercial break.
Yes. Let's do that.
We'll soon come. Mama Kelly, today is known as International Marijuana Day here in the United States. So I had to drop a little one song.
Them the day that not happen out here.
Today is known as 420, Mama Kelly.
Yes, 420. Everybody's saying happy 420.
Yeah,
but mostly people your side are saying happy 420,
Yeah, it's a holiday celebrated here in the United States. Right. So this afternoon at 4:20, everybody is gonna, pay some homage or probably take a one draw.
As I go?
Yeah.
Why? I'm telling you, what a liberating.
And on April the 20th, which is the date 4:20, also at 4:20 in the afternoon. Yeah,
okay.
Man.
Well, tomorrow's ground day is actually the celebration of His Imperial Majesty's visit to Jamaica.
Nice.
So that happens tomorrow, and there are going to be celebrations. We're going to at about 1:20. We're going to talk to Priest Irie Tafari, and we're going to talk about the Rastafarian perspective of that day. So we're looking forward to that.
Great.
So it is right before. It's right.
So everything is aligned. Everything aligned.
Yes. Perfect alignment. Because I want to say, so when you go online and look at the stories told by what was then the official media, the stories are told that His Imperial Majesty came off the plane and was greeted with a whole heap of ganja smoke and run back into the plane. so which is why we really want a different perspective.
Yes.
It might end up being the same, but who knows?
Looking forward to it.
All right, so we have Takura online.
Yes, Queen.
So you know that Takura is coming on, right, Beau-regard?
Yes, Mama Kelly. Yes.
Okay,
greetings, King.
Yes, I blessed.
Bless.
Aye.
So we had Takura on the program once recently, but that was before his lineup for the This Poem Wordz and Agro Festival was selected. So before we talk about the lineup, Takura, could you just tell this audience about this poem, Wordz and Agro Festival, its inception, a little background about it?
Yes, Queen, blessed and good evening or good morning. And blessed Beau-regard.
Greetings, King. Blessings.
Yes, sir. Give thanks. Queen. So, this poem, Wordz and Agro Festival, the 11th staging. It's Poetry Festival in Jamaica, Poetry and Agro Expo. You know, I always like to say the primary focus of the Agro Expo section of the festival focus on seeds trading, heirloom seeds trading, where we invite the farmers to bring their natural third generation seeds and practice seeds exchange, you know, as a step towards the non-use of GMO or any other contaminated seeds, you know, because we know that people have original strains within them position of different species of plants. So we use the festival now as a catalyst to invite farmers to bring their natural seeds and trade seeds. So it's not just poetry, you know, but poetry is also the main platform of entertainment in this poem, Wordz and Agro Festival, you know. And over the years we've been doing the festival, and you know, people love the idea, and we keep doing it, and we give thanks to all of the energy and the support that we've been getting, you know. So the 11th stage in Mama Elise, so we're looking forward, and next week Sunday on the grounds of the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, Portland, Jamaica. We start at 10 a.m. and done 7 p.m. You know, so this is it. This poem, Wordz and Agro Festival, you know.
Who are some of the past performers that have graced the stage at this festival?
Some of the past performers. A lot of performers. Every poet we can think about now. See? Every poet we can think about now. Sometime I've graced the stage of this poem, Wordz and Agro Festival. See? Any poet we can call for him. You know, apart, you know, yeah, that I would say that any poet we can mention right now. See? Most poets, you know, have been on the stage in some time in their life. You know?
Right. That's for real. You know, what I'm particularly excited about, Takura, I'm enjoying the fact that poets are using the platform to support agriculture, because
Definitely.
it's a spoken word. So it gets across quicker, because, you know, we're accustomed to having a more oral tradition. So when a poet gets on stage and starts to tell us the use of having an original seed and start to warn us about genetically modified foods, it's a wonderful platform to talk about this, because especially at this time when our food is what is killing us now.
Definitely. And healing us too. The food is the medicine, and the medicine is the food.
Yes.
You know, so if I even just think on the idea, you know, of your food be a medicine be your food, you know, I know that the thing that you consume the most often is not the little thing where you're buying at the back when you go to the hospital. It's the thing where you eat every day and consistently eating. See, it's that thing now should be the medicine, and not just a little thing that where you go buy when you're sick.
Right.
So the vibration, you know.
You know what I would like to see ones like the eye starting to address, because the pharmaceutical industry and the manufacturers have caught on to the fact that people now want to eat healthily. And as a result of that, they are now packaging everything as health food.
Right.
And it's not healthy at all. So I think we probably need to have forums where we have discussions about what is actually healthy and what is being promoted as healthy, which is not.
Right, and you see, and it's always up to the individual still, you know, when you come on to eat healthy or any other choices to create that balance. See, because you could be saying, we know enough Rasta people when we know eat ital from ever since we know them and know about Rasta, but yet still them dead have certain diseases and certain things, and you wonder, oh, them would have them thing and them a eat healthy and all these things, and we are gravitate towards the lifestyle the same way. So it's all in the balance of things. So
Yes.
it's not in the total. I say, okay, I'm going to eat ice salad, I'm going to eat beer bush and all them things. There are beer vegetable and stuff like that. But it's how we can create the balance. Not just eating, but the whole movement, the water where you drink. Because a lot of people don't even connect food and water and no say it's the same thing. The fact that you're taking this thing in your body and your whole structure is totally dependent on it. It means to say it should be treated the same way.
Yes.
Because a lot of people drink the water from the pipe, and pipe water is a very serious water when it comes on to the contamination and the use of chlorine in it, you know. So
and we even examining the water in the plastic bottle too, because it absorbing
Definitely.
all that plastic, the toxins
Right.
of the plastic.
all right, so you imagine we try to eat all the healthy, all the organic, all the vital food, but yet we have the water in a plastic bottle, and the water is absorbing the plastic, right? And then you drink the water and drink the plastic.
Yeah. And I think we're
So, you know,
many of us are guilty of that, me
Yes, so
included.
it's a balance we are trying. You know, human being life is a strive to create the balance. You know, all of these things that I see is happening is man trying to create the balance. You know, but sometimes because too much gone over there so and none over here so then it still have an imbalance. You know,
Yeah.
so it's in creating the balance in everything that human being doing. You know,
True.
so yeah.
You know,
That's how I start to look at things, because a whole heap of things we say man and how fast them man thing, and you say no, but you know, yeah.
Takura and Mama Kelly, as we are talking about the food, my belly make a sound a little while, and I remember saying I not eat nothing from morning.
But that's a good thing, because remember saying, if it tastes good, you're going to have to spit it out.
But as we talk about the festival and the food, I know you cannot have a festival without food. What are some of the
Right.
foods that will be at the festival?
Good
Or
question.
that is always there?
Because most things we can eat.
Yeah, that is a good question to ask, because when I think them that I always try to create within the cuisine of this point is more local food, more local produced food, more Jamaican food.
Yes.
And the festival focuses on, you know, original feed. So we try to get people who prepare that type of food. You know, the yam, the banana, you see me I say the ground provision from Jamaica here, the ital stew, the ackee. And you see the thing about a lot of these Rastafari people who prepare food, them have the different way how them do it. So you have 10 Rastaman cooking the same thing, but yet it tastes totally different.
Yes, that's
See?
so true.
It gives you a total different energy and from the food, and yet still is the same thing. You could have said, oh, I eat from such and such Rastaman, the ackee up there, so on. There's nothing different on it based upon what you can look and see. And the same scale and the same pepper, you know, the same coconut, but yes, still the taste and the flavor what it gives you. See, so what we try to do in the cuisine of this poem is try to get these people together who can prepare that type of food. So this year we have a virgin named Sabakan. Sabakan, him have a kind of a food where him say him food is electrolyte food. See? So him not use the flour, him not use the rice, the regular rice, the regular flour. See? Him not use a lot of even things like pumpkin, and him not use a lot of certain food. Unless it's having the electrolyte energy, which is more good to explain this more than even me. See? And
Is he going to explain it at the festival?
Him always do that. Him consistent to do that when him doing them things. So he will be one of the persons preparing and presenting food there.
Beautiful.
Right?
Lovely.
And also Design Natural. Design Natural will also be preparing not just food but also his roots and his natural cleansing drinks and stuff like those.
Yes, mess up yourself,
And
Design.
Mama Fire, you know, everybody want to know Mama
Portland.
Fire item from out of Portland.
Oh,
you know,
sweet!
So, yeah, so we're trying to create a different flavor, you know. Yeah,
Let me ask you this,
different
Rastakura.
flavor.
Let me ask you this, because I know in your poems you have been talking about soya, warning us to be careful of soya beans,
Right.
and warning us to not eat the whole heap of dumpling, because dumpling is really flour, you know. It's just basically flour. Nice, but it's flour. Are people
It's
taking
fierce.
heed? Is this conversation catching on?
Yes, no. Because yes, no. I would say yes, no. People catching on and people questioning and yeah, I would say yes, no in terms of more to yes because more people stop eat certain animal more and more now and not just animal but animal products because people realize there's a distinct difference between plant-based diet as opposed to an animal-based diet. Seeing and not just people on the street, but the medical associates them and the doctors and professors now are looking more and say, okay, a plant-based diet is really more healthy and more sustainable than an animal-based diet. Seeing so these questions are out there and being answered by these professors, and the answer is that yeah, the natural food, the ital food, the non-meat diet is a better way, is a better choice.
I think we need to continue that conversation because just like you say, a lot of people have caught on to that. But in the middle of that is people thinking that once you do that, you are okay. And therefore, beans like soya beans creeping, and it's not good for you. And it's not everything that is being planted is good. So therefore,
Definitely.
I think no. Okay, fine. We have done the work or people have done the work in terms of informing us about meat-based and suggesting a better alternative, which is plant-based. But within that same set of people, within that community, we still have to have another elimination process because
Right.
we're too comfortable thinking that from we don't eat meat, we're all right. But if
True,
we're
true.
feeding on tofu and chunks, we're not
Right.
all right.
No, we're not all right. Definitely. Because as I continue to make this point, and I don't see anyone to contradict it scientifically, which is to say that more than 90% of the soya beans that is growing in the world, it was grown to feed animals. See, and it end up in our food chain through that same diet of soya beans. You see me? I said that we have. See, and yeah, the majority of the soya beans that is out in the world, it never designed to feed people. It's designed for the animal feeding. See, so
These are some of the things that we need to start to investigate more and more.
definitely more and more. True.
Yes.
See, so yeah, man.
Wordz?
So the festival is next week, Sunday, the 30th?
Yes, next week Sunday, this Poem Wordz and Agro Festival, the 11th staging. And you know what about this Poem Wordz and Agro Festival 2023? It's a special tribute to Dr. Jean Binta Breeze, who's like the first female dub poet. Dr. Jean Breeze, she passed off in 2021. See? So we kind of use the whole event to kind of reflect that type of energy and our whole spirit in the place, as the first female dub poet, so April 30th at the College of
Takura,
Agriculture.
stick up
Yes,
in for
I.
a second. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the performers and the points that are going to be performing at the festival on Sunday, April the 30th. Soon come here.
All right, remember the question Beau-regard asked to tell us the
Yeah,
lineup.
with the lineup. The lineup of the festival.
Yeah.
Well, on the lineup for April 30th, we have Ross Yaya, who is a poet from St. Lucia, but he's based in Brooklyn there. Then Fruit Tree, I don't know much about her as a poet, to be honest. Just one of the poets them who reached out and said that she would want to be a part of the festival. And when I check out the content of what she have, I said, yes, I would really like to have her.
But that happens all the while, don't it?
No, definitely, especially in this case. Of this festival. Most people, it's like, it's a good thing when you're doing something and people can make it happen. Meaning,
Yes.
like, people just know that you're doing the festival and then they say, yo, Takura, I'm going to be in Jamaica and I would like to be on the stage. It's a good thing and it works out better in every way. It's what I'm saying. I really appreciate the type of energy there. Because most ones on the flyer right now that I can see, it's so the connection makes. And Osajifu, we have to big up Osajifu because him coordinate the connection with most of these ones who, is coming out of Brooklyn at the moment, right? Osajifu himself, Ras Yaya, as we say, and a sister named Empress Poetry, right? She's also coming from Brooklyn. Maverick. Maverick is a Jamaican poet, but it's a youth where him always put on in different events in Kingston. It's a youth who consistent to putting on different events and stuff like that, and doing his thing and doing his poetry. So him reach out and we make the connection. Danielle Dowie she's a poet, but she's more of an author. She writes children's books, and I know her when she used to go to the University of the West Indies here. But then now she's from Portland also, and she teaches one of the high schools out of Portland, and she recently published 2 books, so she'll be there to share information about the books and and read probably one poem or something like that. But she'll be doing a nice presentation in relation to her book and what she's doing in the school. Rashadai.
Go ahead.
Repeat?
Go ahead.
Yeah, Rashadai. Rashadai is a Jamaican poet too. One of the dub poets them like I and I who one of my brethren in terms of him always a link, always a see him. Some people everywhere you go you see him. Rashadai is one of them poets that everywhere me go. Him just did that thing and always see him about the fire and I step up to the mic. As a matter of fact, Rashadai is one of the man who just put him name on the flyer. When him come at the land, him see him name on it and him frightened.
An excellent poet and a fiery brethren in his poetry, in his delivery.
Takura, how long have you been a poet?
How long have I been a poet? Because a big part of my artist thing, I was a DJ, so that's a good question to ask. How long have I been a poet? About 25 years, I would say. But when I say like professionally start to say, okay, I'm going to do this thing and put out poetry, it is probably since 2020, no, hold on. I try to remember right, because this is a good question to ask. It was how long ago? Call it 20 years ago. Anywhere 20 years ago, put it professionally, I would have there, sir, I would put it.
Nice. A good question to ask, we never think about before.
Yeah.
But something, as you said, DJ, there is a lot of overlap between a poet and a DJ,
No, definitely. Mm-hmm. Because as I say, when I used to go to Benson and Alia's school in St. Anne, every school concert, I used to go up on the stage and turn around a Ninja Man show, seeing Ara Shabarang, because those were the artists that were exposed to at the time. It's after now we start to listen to people like Muta Baruka. We start to get introduced to something different apart from what we've been learning from people like Ninja Man, Shabarang, the Yellow Man, then the Lieutenant Stitch, the Papa San, So those are what we did have in us at the time.
It was the words that attracted you.
Right. Well, yeah, definitely.
Or attracted all of us. The words, because, all of us. Because when them words heavy, when words sound it powerful, so
definitely. When it has power, it's been utilized without your knowledge.
Yeah. So continue with the lineup.
Okay. So going through the lineup now, we have Neto Meeks. Neto Meeks is 1/3 of a group named Royal African Soldiers, which I started out a couple of years ago, decades ago. And Neto Meeks is a special youth in terms of why I say special is this. I remember that Bridget couldn't talk one at a time, because he suffered experience of a stroke. He couldn't talk, he couldn't walk, he couldn't move. And I see him come forward round. The other night we go and do the show down at Montego Bay. The Bad Friday show. And when I saw Neto Meeks perform, I feel extremely proud in myself to know that this man come around so much, that him presenting poetry so powerful again, and it's a good thing that I can be somebody to have a little space where he can come and share the poems,
Absolutely.
So, and Jinsu is also the other member of the Royal African Soldier, and and he will be on the show. Pat Clark from Irie FM, Antonio Valier, Wise Wordz, is on the lineup, seeing Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks, right?
Who is Nita's mom?
Which is Nessa Meeks' mother, right? Definitely. Seeing Musa Baruka, DYCR, seeing, and we're going to have a special performance from Warrior King, a special appearance from Warrior King, right? Seeing, so, and then now we have out of Chicago, we have a person named Black Ice. Seeing, we have Minka. Minka is a Jamaican poet. You know, she released a poem what I've been hearing on the radio recently. You know, so, you know, we reach out to Mika in particular because we hear that poem now. We say, yeah, but I really like to have that sound upon the festival this year, you know.
Minka, little shot, light skin Minka, really nice one. You know something, Rastakura, that I really love about shows like this is that enough time you go to a show like this and it is there that you meet a poet that you become one of your favorites, you know. Or you meet a poet that you never even look at, even Afrocentric. Remember the time with Afro? You see me I say to you?
Definitely.
So it's a wonderful space to see the talents of people that you never thought had that in them.
Give thanks.
So it done? The lineup finished?
No, Informative Instrument is there, Stepper is there, you know, and I, Rastakura, so that's it there.
Well, Rastakura, you know? I love the lineup and I wish I could be there, and I'm sure that a lot of people here in the Tri-State wish they could be there on Sunday, April the 30th to witness these poets in action and to just experience the whole festival. But before you go, can you do our audience a favor and just give them a real quick piece of one of your favorite poems?
Very short one.
A very short one of my poet. You know, I would prefer to give you a very relevant one and cut it short.
Yeah.
The plant heirloom seeds in the earth, and the ganja plant starts to grow. Ganja maker, ganja planter, Rastakura, ganja maker. Me plant heirloom seeds in the earth, and the ganja plant starts to grow. So me say, seeds exchange from gate to gate, parish to parish and state to state, join the pollination for safe foods direction in a time of plastic foods invasion. Save seeds and keep the strain alive. Jamaica is known for a variety of natives. I am Jamaica Indigenous Heirloom Seeds Exchange Movement. I am the heritage of the heirloom strain to preserve me. Man will live again because a seed that has been genetically modified actually lose its ability to reproduce. So each time the farmer wants a new stack of seeds, he must return to that source to purchase new seeds. When traditionally a plant is supposed to produce food and seeds, and you eat the food and save the seeds for replanting of the next crop. But what is happening now when you purchase seeds in the seed stores is that majority of the seeds are GMO or contaminated with some form of genetic modification. Then through cross-pollination, which is the natural means by which plants carry out sexual reproduction.
Rastakura.
Me tell you. It's a me warn you.
I know me for cut you. Mama Kelly, we have 10 seconds. I never want to cut you. We have 10 seconds. So I'm going to say good afternoon and a wonderful weekend to Jamaica. Everybody enjoy yourselves and be safe. We'll talk again next Thursday, Mama Kelly.
All right, just that fast.
All right.
Bless up.
Listen.
Love you, New York. Love you, New York. Bless up yourself, Beau-regard. All right, yes. So there is that. So thank you very much, Rastakura, for all of that information. And Rohan asked me to repeat the location and the date, and I have that information for you, Rohan. Can I go ahead? Let me know, Lafaine. Or do I have to cut because it's that time, and when we come from commercials, I will give Rohan the information he wants. Let me know. Type in break. Break it is. From the Black Star Liner CD, want to say good afternoon to Rastafari. Ras Ivai Tafari. Good afternoon, Ras Ivai.
Blessed love, my sister, and it was really a joy. September 21st, 1966.
That's right.
Trinidad is full joy in that joy since the 18th.
Right.
So, the budget, getting ready, preparing its final day in Trinidad.
Right.
To leave out tomorrow morning to give a drive-by to Barbados, because it was still a colonial territory. Mm-hmm. And the king don't really visit colonial territories like that. So the Prime Minister, Dr. Barrows, made sure he was in Trinidad to appeal to His Majesty for him to visit Trinidad. He even raised the point to His Majesty that, Your Majesty, we have Orthodox in Barbados. We'd really love you to come. His Majesty said, no, he can't. State protocol would not allow him visiting colonial territories. But Dr. Barrows cried in the presence of His Majesty. So I think His Majesty took pity, landed in Barbados, did a drive-by, waved by, then they said, Your Majesty, the Parliament is just over there, please. And His Majesty said, no, I have to go now. Because once he got Parliament, it would have been an official
state visit. Yes.
So he reclined. He said, no. It's time has come for him to disembark to Jamaica. But I think, I deeply looking at it and say, His Majesty delayed his flight to Jamaica because he saw what was building up. Rattles with bags of ganja and chalice and kochi and
Before we reach there, no, look here. I buy the heart and the reason you got it now just a start, man. Come on.
Well,
all right.
So in Trinidad.
Yes.
Because in Trinidad, the newspaper highlighted the fact that even the rainbow came up to greet him.
That's what the newspaper in Trinidad said.
Yes. The newspaper also recounted that there was a man who had one goat. This one goat was his only financial asset he had. But like say he lives in a Trelawney and the airport there in Kingston, the man sold his one goat to organize transport to go to Kingston, Palisades to meet His Majesty. So this man sold his goat to go to the airport to meet His Majesty.
All right, look here, Irie. We take this one step at a time. Because you are going to share so much with us in this discussion that the first thing my listeners need to know is who is this man? So, this man is the I. So I would like the listeners to first of all just find out who you are. So just briefly, Ras Irie, let our listeners know exactly who is speaking and on whose authority.
A son of the Most High, a young man who his mother told in 1966 with his three other brothers, what you doing here? Go to King's Gate, go see the King of Kings. So this young man grew up in Barbican and, become Rastafari at St. Andrew Technical in the 70s and, declared and defended the rights of youth going to school. Because we told our principal back then, Madam Tracy, that she was violating our constitutional rights. So we became the first dreadlock youth at that. There were other youths declaring Rastafari, Likurai, and many more youths who came through SAT, and who left SAT and became Rasta, but were declaring Rastafari, but without luck. But we came at a time when we said, no, it's either school or no school, Rasta is the way. So, them decided to get you out, close school the same day, and try judge me, and the Bible was over the same car. It then used a try ask me. Even the Bible says you must comb your ears. So I said, Madam, if you could tell me here in the Bible say you must comb your ears, then I would she said, no, you can't ask the principal a question, then the principal just asks you a question. So Raymond Hall now, that's Tom Hall's brother, he opened the Bible and said, Numbers chapter 6. Because he was one of the 5 Rastafari.
Yes.
When the principal read, and the Lord said unto Moses, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, Neither man or woman shall vow the vow of a Nazarite to separate himself unto the Lord. He shall be holy, and shall the locks of the ear of his head grow. All the days of the vow of his separation, and he talk about the vine tree and and drink no vinegar, wine, or strong drink. All the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head, until the days be fulfilled in which he separated himself unto the Lord. He shall be holy, and shall let the L-O-C-K-S, the principal can't pronounce, and she says, and shall let the, and then she says, and shall let the lock of the ear of his head grow. She stopped. It was silence in that room because we were now being judged by senior teachers upstairs in the principal's office.
And you're also being judged on their terms, because this is the Bible.
Yeah. This is the Bible. When she took the Bible from Raymond, a portrait of His Majesty in his coronation crown was at the front. So she looked at it, and he said, no, it's a King James version of the Bible. It's nothing different from the Bible. Real.
It's not the Rasta Bible.
No, your own Bible. I see them one story you have to use from them. You know. They believe in it, so this is the two-edged sword you have to use to them. When she read that lock, she placed the Bible face down on her desk, sit back, and was in silence. Then one other teacher, remember her, our English teacher, said, but Miss Stacy, you're not here to talk about any theological arguments. We're here to talk about school rules and regulations.
I can just hear her.
We end up victorious because we were allowed to stay our time in school. And after that, it's Naya Bingi, because, when you look at when you first hear about Naya Bingi, you say, wow, you need to find this place. We knew about Treasure because our brother, Tan Rice, he was a Woolmerian too. He was Sakofe Woolmers, then he went on to Stats, and he and brother Miguel were classmates, schoolmates. So Tan Rice left Woolmers, both Stats, we all did building technology together. But what really happened is that being Rastafari at St. John Andrews Technical now, we found that our brother being a 12 tribe member, we always get into the Bible. You see that chapter be a thing there?
Yeah.
And I tell you, it was a blessing back then.
Because it taught you to read the Bible.
Oh my gosh, from cover to cover. When we found Ethiopia as the first country mentioned in the Bible, story done.
Yes. all right, okay.
One of the 4 rivers coming out of Eden water, the whole land of Ethiopia, hence the beginning of man, story done. Church were locked.
All right, so that gave you a boost, and it gave you a boost of confidence. And this is what I just want to establish before we continue. Because you are going to speak with an authority that people are going to ask about. So I just gave you that chance to speak with that authority. So we're going to take a break. But before we take that break, I'm going to read a headline that is pretty popular. And then I'm going to ask for your perspective. It says, it was a rainy April day in 1966 when Emperor Haile Selassie came to Jamaica. As his plane landed, the rain stopped and the tarmac was mobbed with people. The crowd shoved security forces out of the way and official protocol had to be scrapped. So we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come forward, we're going to talk about that and the perspective that you have heard over the years on that moment. So if you've just joined us, we have live online Priest Irie Tafari of the Theocracy Reign Order of Nyabingi. And we're talking about that moment 57 years ago when His Imperial Majesty landed here in Jamaica on the 21st day of April. And we remember the day. So, Ras Irie?
Blessed love you.
Yes. Yes.
Now, as we say, leaving Barbados to Jamaica in the morning, early morning. The Rockies now were there pump up. The Rockies, their airports are overnight. You have Rastas who walk from Mandeville. I have an uncle who walk from Mandeville. And he said never get a vehicle until he reach 3 miles and jump on a truck and see. So ones walk from all different regions. Them give enough vehicle and carry Rasta more than ordinary.
Exactly.
So you can never jump on a Rasta vehicle, no public transport, no better for you go on. So the airport was jam-packed before daybreak. And you know, the government of Jamaica, their own preparation, Rasta will have prepared too. Every red, gold, and green fabric in all the stores sell out. White, red, gold, and green Rasta ready, prepared to meet the king. The best ganja gone in them bag, crocus bag, every bag, chalice.
Because you know, you said it a while ago, you know, Ras Ivy. This was a time when Rastafarians couldn't even go up on the bus. So you can imagine this was a highlight.
It was the high point. High point. Because here it is now, because you know the colonial government who was here before and tried their best to get Haile Selassie to deny his divinity and BBC. But when the ambassador went to Ethiopia and he came back, he told the British representative to tell the Jamaican government, their government out there in Jamaica, that matter did not come up.
Whoa.
So they decided now that, having His Majesty coming to Jamaica, and we have to give credit to Dr. Eric Williams in 1965. He went to Ethiopia.
A little bird just fly come in a while ago.
It's the last year.
A little bird, you want to see? Bird not come in here. A little bird. Look here. A little bird just flew inside here a while ago.
Rastafari. That's the mystical of the moment that took place 1966 because it was a mystical moment then. So we have talked about it and it is fulfilled. So, Mama, when I say, you see when Eric Williams invited His Majesty, it manifested in 1965. Martin McPlanner would have, in 1966, Martin McPlanner would have told you that when he went there in 61, His Majesty told him that when I visit Jamaica, I will see you. And he said, when will that be, Your Majesty? His Majesty said, never mind. When I visit Jamaica, I'll see you. So I always say, the most safest time of planet life was from 61 up to 66, because the king made him a promise.
And he's waiting.
Jamaica, and waiting to see him. So,
all right, let us talk about that, because we have to keep it moving, because there's just so much. I don't want to seem like I'm milking you, but I'm milking you. So,
well, we still got to the rain, you know. We're still going up to the rain. But
all right, rain.
So, I'm just having left Barbados. You know what was that? So
yes.
The rain starts fall. I figure say the amount of gases, the amount of fumes of gas, flammable gases that is on the airport tarmac. You know, you can't even light a spark on those tarmac.
Yes.
So I think the rain fell. Let us say nature now. Nature agreed that this plane cannot explode. So we fall rain and wash the tarmac clean from these flammable gases.
So the Rastafarian account is that the crowd really descended upon the tarmac.
Listen, the newspaper, not just our account, the Daily Gleaner of 1966 said, once the plane touched the tarmac, the rain ceased instantaneously.
Yes, that was recorded.
One Gleaner reporter said, I heard a Rastaman say, when God come, the rain are going to stop. And he went on to say, and it did.
All right.
Go check the newspapers of 1966 in April.
The records are all there. In fact, what I just read a while ago is part of those records of which you speak. All right. So let us you speak. You speak about Brother Mortimer Planner, otherwise known as Kumi. Let us move to there now. So the rains fell and then it stopped when the plane touched the tarmac.
I mean, the Gleaner reporters and others said they were soaked to the shoes.
All right. All right. So you are telling us now.
We have to say this part. They said the sun came out. There was a sunshine that came out that was phenomenal. Everyone felt as if they were dry inside out.
I've heard ancients say that. I have heard ancients say that themselves, that they were soaking and them don't know when them dry up. I've heard that.
The report has said that the Guild of Undergraduates at the University of the West Indies wrote in their magazine that the sun that came out was like the glory of God descended on the Palisades Airport.
All right, let us move now. Let us move it now, as you mentioned, Mortimer Plano, because a lot of people did not know that there was communication between His Imperial Majesty and Mortimer Plano before his coming to Jamaica, before the state visit. So
the 61 mission was that moment where His Majesty told him, when I visit Jamaica, and I'm recounting Mortimer's words in an interview I had with him, that the Emperor told him, when I visit Jamaica, I see you. I must mention Ras Irie Lion now, because Ras Irie Lion, and he says this before Mortimer too. He said Plano was in the hospital doing a surgery on a goiter on his throat, yeah? And when he found that His Majesty was near to come, he went to the public hospital and said, Marty, His Majesty are coming away at the hospital, Rasta. I said, but me not get discharged. I said, no man, I'm me come to discharge now, come on. And he saw him and Irie Lion left. So Marty was able to go to the airport. Marty said, I was on the tarmac building top because the crowd were there, it was overwhelming. It's not the airport that we used to know. For those who don't know what the airport was, back in the days we could go on the waving gallery, we could see our families going away and wave them goodbye, and you never have no tube where you know see nobody. You have to see them from them come off the steps. So once the people see the plane start come in, the crowd start jump the fence. I mean not talk Rasta alone, you know. It's like the sick, the lame, the lazy, everybody who was Rasta, Christian, Baptist, Anglican, everybody wanted to get close to see this little man that Rasta said is God.
Okay, all right, so listen to me now, Ivy. So indeed, the protocol that was set up had to be scrapped. So that part is true.
Everything scrapped. I mean, the crowd, here, when Bridging started run towards the plane, you know, here a Bridging shout out, yes, Jah, by thee I have leaped over a wall, and by thee I have run through a troop. These are Bible verses, you know.
Look here, I just got a text a while ago from one of the owners of the bridge, and that's Cynthia Clark, and she just texted me and said, that bird was divinely sent. Look here, let me full up all kind of something. Look here, that bird. Look here, is a little bird. Cynthia, you need to see a pretty little bird. And is anyway. Let's move on because you've made your point. Bird not coming here. Anyway, right in, show particle colors, and then she gone.
Show up. And sanction the discussion and went on again.
If you saw it, it would be just too obvious. You see, just like how you're talking about the obvious moments of this trad, there are moments that are not debatable. They are obvious. No. All right. So now, so the crowd actually descended upon the tarmac for you, and His Majesty retreated. So how did
what happened? What happened now, you know?
Yes.
Once the crowd converged under the plane, fire was being lighted. Rastaman started light up in chalice. give me a guinea pepper there. You know a guinea pepper there. A pair of them bubbles just start going. Because Rastaman doesn't start light up in chalice. Man of them shell. And man of them we call hot rod, the back lead, them cutchy, spliff. It's like everyone lost every sense of
protocol.
Yeah, because you want now. Why you light fire on the plane and you got in the plane? Where you want the plane blew up?
Look
Nobody thought about that. It's like everyone was in a frenzy. The chalice of light. This is jubilation.
So look, hold on a little bit now.
Never in nobody, man.
So His Imperial Majesty recognized that the only people that who could control this crowd is one of these people. The government and the officials couldn't do it.
His Majesty came at the step of the place, came at the doorway.
Right.
But like I talk like an inside thing now because Prince
We
Darwin
don't have much
son
time in
was
the Ivan.
here,
I won't want to reach the people them who did
Oh
get,
my gosh.
yes, that's a problem with these kind of program because we want to talk about who get medal from the Majesty. We want to talk about who did get invited for forward.
Fast forward.
Fast forward, my
He came
Bridget.
he came to the door of the plane. He looked out. He
Right.
saw the crowd.
Yes.
He went back in. But prior to even the plane, he went up to the cockpit and told the pilot to turn off the engine
Yes.
because he saw the crowd running towards the plane. So those propellers were, and he might have ordered the pilot to turn off the engine. The science of it and the fire them where did that come and everything. So he told us, so when he came and he looked out and he finds the crowd was all there, jubilation, the chant, them a chant, the drums, they a bang, the whistle, the horn, jubilation. He went back inside. The government now representative, the brigadier, the governor general, every head of government who tried to bring calm to the crowd failed.
Right?
So the emperor called one of the governor general and said to him, I would like to see Mortimer Planner.
Because he knows him.
For the first time at the Rasta man, I got hear this. Mr. Mortimer Planner.
Whoa,
The dirty Rasta becomes Mr. Mortimer Planner. Prior to that, the dirty Rasta, they had come up the society, But now, His Majesty gave them order to call for Mortimer Planner.
But Mortimer Planner must have been terrified because he have a throat problem.
Listen, when you hear the bullhorn echo the sound, brethren who deaf on the ground, I said, Planner, the emperor called to you. Planner said, all I did was to put my foot down from the building, and then my foot never touched ground until I was at the step of the plane. It's the people and shuttle him up to the steps of the plane. And he went up to His Majesty. When he went up to His Majesty said, talk to them, tell them I need to disembark. But he was saying to His Majesty, we have a throat problem.
Right.
And so His Majesty stretched his hand out and took him and placed his thumb in between his index and thumb. So just imagine a handshake. His Majesty stretched out his hand, Planner did, and he pressed between that index and thumb. I don't know who can tell me what that pressure point did. But Planner said once His Majesty depressed in between his index and thumb, looked him in the eyes and said, talk to them. Wow. Planner said when he turned around, man, his voice was like the voice of thunder.
Which is what we know it is.
People. The emperor needs to come off the plane, make way for the king. The crowd parted. And I wrote in an article once, that the crowd parted as how they said in the Bible the Red Sea was parted. The crowd parted for His Majesty to disembark on the words of the Rastaman. So for me, Planner was the voice of His Majesty, the representative authority of the Jamaican people. Put the brigadier aside, put the prime minister aside, put the commissioner of police aside. Planner was given the authority as the voice of Jamaica and the voice of the king.
But Ras Ivar, this was obviously a prediction because prior to his meeting Planner, it was he who told Planner that he will be coming, and it is as though he knew there was a mission that he had intended for him to carry out.
Mortimer Planner, yes. When he heard that they said the emperor wants to see him, he reflected on the day when the emperor said, when I visit Jamaica, I will see you. So a prophecy was fulfilled in Planner's mind that he is the man the king wanted to see personally, the first brethren of the community where His Majesty said, yes, I want.
All right, Ras Ivar, I'm going to give you some time that you understand what we're working against. It's now 1:48 and we have to come out 1:55. So I'm going to ask you So I'm going to ask you to just tell us, because there were Rastafarians who were specially invited to the occasion. Who were they?
I hope the people request that a part 2 be done, because it's just like the tip of the iceberg.
It is.
So you know, the emperor wanted to. I sent a questionnaire to Senator Hector Winter while we were having our cutting edge cultural items to meet with the mayor. And I asked him some pertinent questions pertaining to the visit, because he was then charged with affairs, yeah?
Yes.
So I asked him about the emperor meeting with the Rastafarians. He said, when I spoke to the emperor, he was very determined to meet with the Rastafarians. He ordered that anywhere he was, they should have special invitations, yeah? And he said when the emperor told them he would want to meet with the community, they told him it was large. He said, let me meet with the heads, the outstanding representatives of the community.
Yes.
So, you know, from what they knew, started to put names together. So when they put these names together, you know, like Shadrach, Daniel Hartman, Trevor Campbell, Sam Brown, Disney, Bongo Hill, Prince Emmanuel, Martin O'Connor, Seymour Alva Ranga, Sam Clayton,
that's
all
right.
those names, those renowned names were selected to meet the king. He said to the emperor that evening, Your Majesty, would you care to tell them tomorrow when you meet with them that you're not God? And so the emperor looked at him and said, who am I to interfere with their beliefs?
Who is telling you this? Who is telling you this?
Senator Hector Winter.
Hector Winter, well-known senator.
He was the charge of affairs in 1966, and I have the type answers he gave back to my questionnaire.
But in his autobiography, His Imperial Majesty made it very clear that religion is personal.
It's a personal thing.
All right.
It's for the masses.
All right, so fine.
Yes,
so they were specially invited guests to what occasion?
To King's House, where the emperor now would have well, when they met with the emperor now, remember now, these are the undesirables based on the government perception of Rastafari.
I mean, this is 66.
Owen was charged with sedition before that, because in said King George is not the black man's king. The black man's king is Emperor Haile Selassie I. So these people wanted to sweep us under the carpet, as in their own words, nip us in the bud, get rid of these South Sea cannibals. These were articles of the Daily Gleaner back then.
Yes.
We were enemy of the state, because we are talking about a black god, we are talking about ganja is the healing of the nation, and we have a look, we look like the Mau Mau from Kenya.
Everything contrary to the status quo. Yes. Everything. All right. So there were those who were invited to King's House.
The undesirables came to King's House. You know what His Majesty did?
What?
He medaled them. He gave them gold medallion.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
The bowing before His Majesty received it, and the government supposed to say, so we check them and come deny them, and come give them gold medal.
I give them medal.
Listen, so what is that? When your medal person is what? A sign of approval.
But you know something else too, Ivor, as you know and always speak and write up, that to me is a clear manifestation of the diplomacy of His Imperial Majesty.
Oh my!
Without saying a word, without disrespecting the government, because it was a state visit that he was on.
Exactly.
That is how he showed how he felt about Rastafarians.
Exactly. And then again, you know, people were talking how the welcome at the airport was a boisterous welcome. The gun salute them are female, nothing couldn't go on. The red carpet, you know, so Rasta wipe them foot on the carpet when they meet His Majesty and mud it up. And when they mud up the red carpet, the Gleaner, I'm talking the Gleaner now, Mama.
Yes.
The Gleaner reporter said the Rasta was seen wiping the foot on the carpet, and the carpet was all over in mud. And in here a Rasta man said, oh, I the same carpet to bring you to Elizabeth today. It's going to bring you to come make the King of Kings walk on. The King now walk on that. So this Gleaner reporter said he stood there to see if the Emperor would have stepped on the carpet.
And
when you read the Gleaner, it said the red carpet was bypassed by the Emperor. So did the emperor hear what the Rastas said? Those were miracles of that time. The Gleaner reporter said, I stood there and saw that the muddy carpet was bypassed by the emperor.
All right, so Ras Ivi, we have 2 minutes. You see, with that 2 minutes, could you just... No, I know, sometimes it goes so.
I'd like to say one thing before the 2 minutes.
No. I'm asking you to use that 2 minutes however you choose.
Okay, nice. And I'm asking my listeners to just call for a party because it's not started yet. We're still there at the airport. They were talking about, leave the airport yet. So, after that, the Gleaner, everybody are talking how it was a boisterous welcome and how the Rasta them how people behave and this couldn't happen. Protocol was dashed to pieces and all. The Gleaner also reported that the supervisor for the tarmac ran away because he was anticipating an explosion. How did these flammable gases behave docile? That was a miracle of that moment. But hear what His Majesty said when they were all saying all that they were saying. His Majesty said when he met with the Rastas at Jail Royal in a gift exchange program, he said, when we touched your land, you did not hold back your most sincere welcome for us. Please extend our sincere gratitude to the people you lead. That means His Majesty approved of the kind of welcome which was most unique. And I must say that the Ethiopian Minister of Information wrote that of all the visits His Majesty had, that was the most talked about visit when the Emperor returned to Ethiopia.
Oh my goodness. And of course the only king to ever step into King's house.
And I must say this for all to hear that Dr. Frederick Duane, who was the Speaker of the House when His Majesty went to Parliament. That's why we say we need a part 2. Frederick Duane said that it is the first time both houses of Parliament have come together to welcome a visiting head of state. He went on to speak of how the Jamaicans love Ethiopia, but he said there's a particular group of people here, Your Majesty, that attach a particular devotion to your person. So when His Majesty answered in his citation, His Majesty said, because I know of the wonderful sentiment the people of Jamaica entertain for the Ethiopian people, that is why I have always longed to come and to visit Jamaica.
I think that's how we're going to see you. I think that's how we're going to see you. Ras Ivi, I just want to thank you immensely for just being the person who can relate, who can have a part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, who have studied enough that you can actually be that spokesperson. Bless you, because I could not think of anyone else. I really couldn't. And bless you for that. We're going to have a part 2. Through the powers. That little bird, I'm going to ask that little bird if we can have a part 2. And we're going to arrange that part 2.
Exactly. No,
wonderful talking to you.
It was a divine intervention into all. The little bird will definitely say yes.
Yeah. Yes.
But the thing is going on in Mobile as of tonight, and there's function going on at the University of the West Indies tonight too.
Yes.
And there's Blackies, the Bobo Shanty will be having 12 Tribe, will be having it, School of Vision, anywhere African-centered minds meet. Tomorrow into the 21st, we'll be celebrating one of the most auspicious visits of any individual to have touched the ground. The biblical descendant of David and Solomon, Emperor Haile Selassie I.
Sila. Give thanks again, Priest Irie Tafari. For those listening, you're listening to Priest Irie Tafari of the Theocracy Reign Order of Nyabingi, and we're talking about that wonderful visit, that joyful visit of His Imperial Majesty 57 years ago here in Jamaica on the 21st of April, 1966. So Rastafarian people, Ethiopian people at home and abroad will continue the celebration. And as you heard us Ivi say, the celebration continues amongst all nationalities, all mansions. And this is how I say, so long, Certainly hope you had a wonderful untangling moment as we untangle all the mysteries of Babylon. It is now that time, heart full of love, and through the powers of the Most High, we meet again next Thursday, and next Thursday at 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So this is how we leave you. We leave you with this one from...
And these are the questions
Morgan Heritage.
that we...